What's up, guys, and welcome back to the PricePlow Coronavirus Show, where we review immune products every day.
Welcome to PricePlow.
This is what I've really been looking forward to, though. Alpha Lion's SuperHuman Armor. I've been talking with Jordan about this for a little bit. This actually was slated for later in the year, and I know everyone is saying that, but I know for a fact that Alpha Lion actually had this slated for later in the year. We were actually working on a separate project that was going to get released this month, and I've actually had to push it back. I'm really excited for that too. It's going to be actually really creative and different for us. But we had to swap around some stuff to help them launch SuperHuman Armor. So SuperHuman Armor is their new capsule immune product. They have their gut coming out as well, which is going to be, I think, a powder. But I'm really excited to have a capsule product. I don't like when I'm adding a new product to my regimen for it to be another powder, because I already drink so many powders all day so long. So I was so excited to see pills coming from these guys. SuperHuman Armor is a really cool little blend to help make sure that your body is protected. Armor would suggest that, correct? As always, I have to say, this is not going to protect you from the coronavirus. It's not going to protect you really from any kind of disease, virus, or whatever. But it's going to help strengthen your body's immunity and protection for itself against harmful outside sources of this kinds of stuff. So with this product, we're looking at an everyday solution to making sure your body is running at peak capacity, protected, full of immune helping stuff, and yeah, just staying healthy. One of the things that when we talked with Jordan about this was that this is the kind of product that really everyone should be taking. You should be taking this before you're buying your pre-workout. This should be more important than buying your pre-workout, because if you're not healthy, if your body is not functioning, you're not going to be getting gains. Believe it, take it from me. I have been doing this for probably about 5 years competitively, and anytime that I've pushed myself to the point where my body starts to become unhealthy, I start losing the gains on a that daily, weekly basis. So I have come to realize that you're not what you eat, you are what you absorb. Right? And your body is only going to be as competitive and powerful as it is healthily able to sustain. So, without further ado, let's talk about SuperHuman Armor and what it can do for you. SuperHuman Armor is a pretty cool supplement. I like a lot of the stuff that Alpha Lion comes out with, because they're not afraid to try out new ingredients. They're not afraid to take a little bit of a risk on something that might have a little bit less science, but it has promising science with what's there. With this product, they have a couple old school ingredients. They have a couple new school ingredients. They have one that is currently popular, that's been around for a long time, that I knew about, but has become more popular with this immune rush going on. Overall, I think the formula is simple, and I mean that in a positive way, but it is going to be effective in a few different ways. So it starts off with vitamin C ascorbic acid, 500 milligrams. Now, the recommended daily dosage for this is going to be between 100 and 300 milligrams. Obviously, in the hospitals right now, they're giving huge doses of it, like grams and grams and grams. But here at 500 milligrams, you're going to exceed that recommended daily amount. It's going to be above that. So if you are in an allergy season, a flu season, if you're worried about any kind of infectious thing going on, like we are right now, a higher dose of vitamin C is obviously just going to be a good idea. Like I said before, none of this stuff is going to cure, treat, or prevent any kind of illnesses, but we do know that vitamin C can be very helpful for your immune system, as well as a ton of different properties in the body. If you're an athlete, you should be taking a lot of vitamin C no matter what. Moving forward into zinc. The zinc we have here is actually Trax Zinc Biglycinate. It's going to be a very high quality zinc. It is a truly chelated zinc, which is basically what they take an amino acid and surround a mineral with it. So it's kind of like a Trojan horse for your body. Your body is very good at absorbing amino acids. What it thinks is an amino acid, when it breaks it down, you then get a mineral. So it's very efficient absorption for your body. If you have ever taken Zicam, which is a really cool over-the-counter product for cold and flu symptoms, you can take it at the first showing of a symptom of cold or flu. It helps lower the length of the symptoms, if not completely prevent it. That is a zinc product. This is going to be an even more bioavailable version of zinc. So, big fan of Trax Zinc here. It's going to be a very, very good quality ingredient for you to use. And we have 30 milligrams of that there, which is a pretty great dose. So moving into the, I'd say like more active ingredients, we've got the first ingredient is the one that I was talking about that is a bit of an older ingredient that I've been a fan of for a while but has become more popular these days. Epicor, which is a dry fermentate from a ingredient that, a Latin word that I'm not going to try to pronounce today, but we have the full 500 milligram dosage of it here. Epicor has been around for a long time. There's a really cool story about it. If you go to our blog, or I'll even link it here, you can check it out, of how Epicor was found. It was basically, long story short, a farmer found that his cattle that were eating fermented foods instead of the grains. This is kind of, if you're following along with amino acids, you find a funny parallel here. The cattle that were eating the fermented food were significantly healthier and also got sick less than the other cattle. He then took that concept, put it into this ingredient. He took that and made that into a food that he was selling to other farmers, and they found that the people in that building that were manufacturing that ingredient and food, their insurance company or someone noticed that they were taking a significantly lower amount of sick days than other companies out there. They were significantly healthier than other companies. This turned into the whole ingredient where they started selling it as an immune product. There are multiple human studies showing that Epicor can keep you healthy in a ton of different ways. It alleviates allergy symptoms. It can decrease the length and also the frequency of upper respiratory infections. It enhances natural cell killer activity as well as antioxidant activity. Lowers overall inflammation due to the increase of histamine, and it can act as a prebiotic in the body, which really helps get the gut healthy. And we all kind of know that the gut is the second brain. It's also kind of the driver of a lot of health in the body. The healthier your gut, your healthier your rest of your body is probably going to be. Overall, Epicor has a lot of really cool studies that are actually in humans. It is provable, and I think that it has been kind of underestimated for a while, and I'm happy that it's starting to come out. During my time at Vitamin Shop, I sold a lot of it to people who are more in the know, but these days it's becoming a popular mainstream ingredient. So we've seen it in a few different companies, and Alphaline was one of the first ones that kind of came to us and was like, hey, have you guys ever heard of this? And I was really happy to tell them that I had. Sometimes Alphaline comes to me with some very wild ingredients. Sometimes I bring them wild ingredients too. These guys are really ahead of the time with a lot of cool ingredients, as you saw with their Superhuman Burn with Beba, which we were very excited about. After Epicor, we have Elderberry here. It's at a 4-to-1 ratio, which is a decently high ratio. We've seen some higher, but this is a good quality ingredient. It's not standardized for specific constituents within the product, but we do see this as a step up from other ones that may be mixed with maltodextrin or caramel, which can be allergens or Prop 65 issues. Elderberry is an interesting, it comes from Sambucus nigra, which is one of the higher quality versions of elderberry. Now, one of the important parts here is that it's actually being taken from the berry as opposed to like the bark or other parts of the plant, which can contain some more harmful ingredients that will actually hinder the effectiveness of the ingredient. Here they're using the berry extract, which is important for the usefulness and the effectiveness of the ingredient. Elderberry has been proven to lower the length and the duration of infections and symptoms of cold and flu symptoms. It has also been able to, they've been able to prove that it improves the antibody production after pathogens have been found in the body. Overall, it's going to help your body fight off things that shouldn't be going on. So overall, it's helpful for more than just cold or flu. It just helps your body's whole immune system. We've seen this for a long time, like kind of like old wives' remedies. But overall, I'm happy to see it in more of a mainstream product here. Mike actually was using it for his flu. I think he had a flu in late 2019, and he really said that it helped him out a lot. I've actually personally never used it. I've just witnessed a lot of other people using it and saying that it helped them out a lot. After elderberry, we have another ingredient called Echinacea, and Echinacea is one of those products that I'm going to be transparent and say that here in college, I went to college for dietetics at Rutgers University, and I actually specifically remember probably 2 weeks where we spent time learning about how to read studies and how to find bullshit in studies. And Echinacea was actually, honestly, a subject of one of them where we were talking about how back in the day there had actually been studies showing that Echinacea could cure the common cold, and at this time it actually, we now know that it's not going to cure the common cold. There is no cure for the common cold. However, Echinacea is useful in some ways as long as it is a good quality extract, and there are some synergistic studies showing it between elderberry and Echinacea. They work together to improve your immune function. In 2016, there actually was a study with Echinacea that was a good quality study showing that it can lower the length of cold and flu symptoms as well as the frequency of cold episodes. In addition, it also actually showed that there was a lowered need for other medications when using Echinacea, which is kind of, I think, what we all want to do. I know that I try to stick to the path of least resistance. If I have to use a medication, I will, but I'd like to use a more natural, easier on my body remedy like Echinacea than jumping straight to Tamiflu or any kind of like more medication. Now, before we get into the big blend at the end, we've got one more ingredient, Astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is obviously a ketocrotinoid that we've talked about a little bit recently. It's been in a few different products. Sometimes it's in other types of products, not just immune products. Astaxanthin is very powerful for a lot of different things. One actually interesting thing about it is it actually is the reason that a lot of plants and animals have very vibrant colors. That doesn't actually help us here, but I think it's kind of an interesting side note. But it has numerous health benefits such as anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, and antioxidant benefits. Overall, it has a lot of different roles in the body. It can even protect your skin, eyes, neurological, and cardiovascular systems. The most important one that I found, though, is actually that it can actually prevent immunosuppression, which has been a big topic with the coronavirus going on with the immunocompromised people. It can help people who are a little bit suppressed in their immune systems regain that and become more able to fight off infections and bacterial onslaughts. So overall, it's gonna just kind of help make sure your body is stable and ready to fight off infections. It's not going to be like Epicor is kind of, I would say, more of a preventative thing. It actually goes out on the attack, but in this case, we're just talking about someone who might be immunosuppressed getting back to a normal equilibrium. The last ingredient in here we have seen in a lot of different blends recently. I've seen it in a greens blend, a pre-workout, an intra-workout, an all-day drink, which you know what I'm talking about if you know. Spectra Total ORAC blend from Futureceuticals. They have the full 100 milligram dosage in here, and it's kind of funny to say full 100 milligrams because there are so many ingredients in here. People often complain that these can't all be like large dosages, but the product does have proven studies on it showing a lot of different benefits. Overall, it's going to have a ton of different anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, helpful benefits. One note that I have that I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I can memorize this is, and I'm literally reading this off my notes right now. In 2014, there was a study conducted showing they measured stress markers in 22 human participants, not the biggest study, but this is pretty cool. With 100 milligrams of Spectra, they found that Spectra significantly inhibited cellular and mitochondrial reactive oxygen species production, ROS. ROS are a specific type of molecules that contain oxygen but are very unstable. That means that it's highly reactive, and ROS can actually wreak havoc on healthy cells by bonding to them and destroying their cell membranes, DNA, and enzymes. So Spectra actually showed it was able to significantly inhibit the production of those molecules. In addition to that, increased nitric oxide lowered inflammation. There was an interesting study showing nitric oxide in the coronavirus in terms of nitric oxide actually helping the body fight off infections, which I thought was really funny. If you go back a few years, the very popular bodybuilder Antoine Vaillant had a slogan, "The pump is the cure," and I found it really ironic that these days the pump may be the cure for some types of infections. Overall, Futureceutical uses a very similar blend for their S7, which I have been a little bit critical of recently, but Spectra itself, the original Spectra ORAC blend, which we're looking at here at 100 milligrams, has very commendable studies. I think that it has some very actionable and useful benefits. And I'm happy that they put it in here. I think it was a little bit of a different approach to the immune topic. So I don't have to do a flavor review for you guys in this one because, like I said, it's a capsule. The full serving is 3 capsules. I haven't even opened this up yet, to be honest with you. I just got it and I wanted to get ready for you guys. These look like they're a little bit smaller than 00 caps. They might be 00 caps. They're not huge, but 3 of them is gonna get this down, and the serving size is a little bit less than 2 grams. It's not a ton of powder, but it's going to be a very useful product for you guys. So my recommendation is not just in this time of coronavirus, of all times, SuperHuman Armor is a great option for your just protecting your body, making sure that it's benefiting from the stuff that you're putting into it. We can't just look at our bodies as vessels for sport and performance. We have to keep them healthy if we want to be successful athletes. From just a general health standpoint, this is going to help everyone, but I know that a lot of our consumers that are watching here are bodybuilders, powerlifters, strength athletes, crossfitters, people who want to look good, perform good in the gym, and you can't do that if your body is not functioning and performing at a base level in regards to just health. So don't take it from me. Look the product up on our blog. Read about the studies if you want for yourself. We have them all cited over there. Heather did an incredible job with that. For all your news, reviews, and interviews on Alphaline, you can go to blog.priceplow.com/alpha-lion. For any kind of questions or comments, leave them below. I'll answer them for you and get back to you soon if I have to. So that is SuperHuman Armor. See if we can get to focus. No. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, stay healthy and have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.